Hi English learners, welcome back to Speak English Naturally, where real-life moments become your best natural English practice. I'm Rose.
And I'm Jack. I'm very happy you're here today with us.
Before we jump into today's topic, Jack, I need to ask you a very important question. Have you ever been in a situation where you had absolutely no idea what was happening, but you pretended you did?
Oh, many times. But the best example happened just a few days ago at a very fancy new coffee shop downtown.
Oh no, fancy coffee shops are dangerous. What happened?
Well, I walked in and I just wanted a normal, simple coffee. But the barista looked at me and asked this very long, very complicated question about the origin of the beans, the roasting process, and some kind of fruity flavor profile.
And let me guess, you did not understand a single word.
Exactly. My brain completely stopped working. But instead of saying, "I don't understand," I stood very tall, I gave him a very serious, intelligent nod, and I just said, "Yes, absolutely. Go with the bold one."
The bold one? What does that even mean?
I have no idea. I completely invented it. I just put on my most confident face, and the barista nodded back, looking very impressed, and made me a coffee.
Was it a good coffee?
It was the strongest, most sour coffee I have ever tasted in my life. I think my eyes were wide open for 3 days. But hey, I looked very confident while drinking it.
That is amazing. You became a coffee expert for 5 minutes just by acting like one. And you know, Jack, that funny little situation connects perfectly to what we are talking about today.
Because today, we are talking about doing exactly that, but with English.
Yes, we are talking about the famous phrase, fake it till you make it. What it really means, why it is so useful for English learners, and how you can use a little bit of fake confidence to build real speaking skills.
Because so many learners fall into a trap. They think they need to feel 100% confident before they open their mouths to speak. They think, when my grammar is perfect, then I will be confident. When I know every word, then I will speak loudly.
But that day never comes. Because confidence is not something you find in a grammar book. Confidence is something you build by doing the scary thing first.
And sometimes, doing the scary thing means you have to pretend you are not scared. You have to put on a brave face, just like I did in the coffee shop, and speak anyway.
We have all experienced that moment. Someone asks you a question in English. Your heart beats fast. You get butterflies in your stomach. Your brain starts searching for words, and suddenly, all the files are empty.
Error 404. English not found.
Exactly. But instead of freezing or apologising for your English, what if you just acted like everything was fine? What if you smiled, used a simple phrase and kept going? That is what fake it till you make it is all about.
It is not about lying. It is not about pretending you have a C2 vocabulary when you are a beginner. It is about managing your fear. It is about borrowing a little bit of confidence from the future, using it today, and eventually becoming that confident person.
If you have ever waited for confidence to arrive, or if you have ever felt your voice get very quiet when you speak English, this episode is going to help you change that. We are going to make English practice feel lighter, braver, and a lot more fun.
Before we get deep into the conversation, let's talk about the level of today's episode. Today, we are speaking at a B1 to B2 English level.
That means you will hear some great natural phrases, some real-life expressions, and a normal conversation pace. But do not worry if you do not catch every single word.
Exactly. Listen to this podcast like you are just sitting at a cafe with us. You do not need to pause and look up every word in the dictionary. Let the meaning come to you from the context.
This is your time to relax with English. And remember, near the end of the episode, we will slow down for our special word tour. We will pick out the best vocabulary from our conversation and explain it clearly so you can use it yourself.
So your only job right now is to enjoy the flow. And hey, if you hear a phrase you really like, we want you to practice it. Go down to the comments and write one short sentence.
Yes, we love reading your comments. Even just writing, "Hello from my country," is a great way to participate. Now, let's get back to this idea of faking confidence. Jack, I think we first need to clear up a big misunderstanding about this phrase.
I agree. When people hear "fake it till you make it," they often think it sounds negative, like you are being a fake person or a liar or an imposter.
Right. If I am an A2 learner, faking it does not mean I write on my resume that I am a fluent native speaker. That is just a bad idea.
A very bad idea. Because on the first day of the job, they will find out the truth, and you will panic. Faking it till you make it is not about faking your skills. It is about faking your emotional state.
I love how you said that. Faking your emotional state. Can you explain that a bit more?
Sure. Let's say you have to speak up in an online meeting in English. Inside, your emotional state is pure terror. You want to hide under the desk. You feel very nervous.
Yes, the classic, "please don't look at me" feeling.
Exactly. But you don't have to show that emotion. Instead of showing panic, you take a deep breath, you sit up straight, you look at the camera, and you speak slowly. You are faking the calm emotion. You are acting like someone who feels comfortable, even though you don't.
And the amazing thing about human psychology is that when you act calm on the outside, your brain actually starts to believe it on the inside.
It really does. It is like a feedback loop. Your body tells your brain, "Hey, we are sitting up straight and smiling. We must be safe. We don't need to panic." And then your brain actually gives you better access to your English vocabulary.
This is so important because when you panic, you get a brain freeze. Your mind just goes completely blank. You forget words you have known for years. You forget how to say apple.
True, I have forgotten the word water in another language because I was too stressed about pronouncing it perfectly. I just pointed at my throat and coughed. It was not my best moment.
See? When you let the fear take control, you lose the English you already have. So, faking it is a protective shield. It protects your hard work from disappearing when you get nervous.
Let's talk about the physical side of this. When we say someone is nervous, we often say they have butterflies in their stomach. It is that fluttery, slightly sick feeling you get right before you have to do something brave.
I get butterflies in my stomach all the time, even before recording some of these podcast episodes.
Really? But you always sound so natural.
That is because I put on a brave face. I have learned to recognise the butterflies and say, "Okay, you are here, but we are going to do this anyway." I act confident until the confidence actually arrives. Usually, it takes about 2 minutes of talking, and then the fear goes away.
That is a brilliant point, Rose. The fear usually only lasts for the first few minutes. The hardest part is simply starting. If you can just fake your confidence for the first 2 minutes of an English conversation, you will naturally relax into the rest of it.
So, how do we practically do this? If an English learner is listening right now and thinking, "Okay, I want to fake it, but I don't know how," what is the first step?
The very first step has nothing to do with words. It is your body language. Your posture changes how you sound. If you make yourself small, fold your arms, and look at the floor, your voice will sound quiet and unsure.
It is true, your voice gets trapped in your chest.
But if you open your shoulders, keep your head up, and make eye contact, your voice naturally projects. It sounds stronger. So step 1 is borrow the body language of a confident speaker.
Step 2, I think, is about speed. Nervous people speak very, very fast. They want the situation to be over as quickly as possible. They rush through their words, they mumble, and then the other person says, "Sorry, can you repeat that?"
And when someone asks you to repeat yourself, the panic doubles.
Exactly. So to act confident, you actually need to slow down. Confident people are not in a rush. They take their time. If you force yourself to speak 10% slower than you want to, you instantly sound more in control.
I really like that tip. Slowing down also buys you some time. It gives your brain an extra second to find the next English word.
Let's talk about buying time, because that is a massive part of sounding confident. Sometimes you are having a conversation and you just don't know what to say next. What do confident speakers do?
Confident speakers do not freeze in silence with wide eyes. They use filler phrases. They use little expressions that keep the conversation going while their brain is searching for the right vocabulary.
Phrases like, "That's an interesting question," or "Let me think about that for a second," or even just a long, "well."
Exactly. If you say, "That is a really good point, let me think," you sound intelligent, you sound engaged, but inside, your brain is running around looking for the word umbrella.
Yes, you are hiding the panic behind a very polite, very natural English phrase. That is the perfect example of putting on a brave face. You are acting like you are deeply considering the topic, but really, you are just trying to remember vocabulary.
And there is absolutely no shame in that. Native speakers do it all the time. We forget words in our own languages. We pause. We say and The difference is, native speakers don't judge themselves for it.
That is the key difference. When an English learner forgets a word, they think, "Oh no, my English is terrible. I am failing." When a confident speaker forgets a word, they think, whatever, I'll use a different word. They just brush it off.
To brush something off means to not let it affect you. You make a mistake, you brush it off, and you keep moving forward.
And this leads perfectly into another great strategy. Sometimes, to fake it till you make it, you have to almost play a character. You have to step into the role of an English speaker.
Step into the role? Like an actor in a movie?
Yes, think about it. When you speak your native language, you have a certain personality. Maybe you are shy. Maybe you are quiet. Maybe you worry a lot about what people think.
Right. Your native language carries all your personal history.
But English is a new space. You don't have to be the exact same version of yourself in English. You can create an English alter ego. You can decide, when I speak English, I play the role of someone who is outgoing, relaxed, and doesn't care about mistakes.
Oh, I see. Like putting on a superhero costume. I am no longer nervous Jack. I am English-speaking Jack, and I am very brave.
Exactly. It sounds a little silly, but it works so well. When you step into a role, you give yourself permission to make mistakes. Because it is not you failing, it is just the character practicing.
That takes so much pressure off the learner. You are just acting. And the funny thing about acting confident is that, eventually, you stop acting.
Yes, that is the make it part of fake it till you make it.
When you practice acting confident, you start to collect little pieces of evidence that you are actually okay. You survive a conversation. You make a joke in English. Someone understands your story.
Each tiny win builds real confidence. You realise, wait, I didn't die. They understood me. I can actually do this. And slowly, the fake confidence dissolves and real confidence takes its place.
But you have to be willing to feel uncomfortable first. You have to step out of your comfort zone.
The comfort zone. It is a nice place. It is warm. There is no grammar confusion there.
But nothing grows in the comfort zone. If you only speak English when you are alone in your room, reading from a book, you will never learn how to handle the messy, real-world conversations.
Real conversations are unpredictable. People speak too fast, they use slang, there is background noise. You cannot prepare for every single sentence. You have to learn how to go with the flow.
To go with the flow means you relax and accept the situation as it happens, without trying to control everything. You don't know the exact word? Go with the flow. Explain it simply.
For example, if you don't know the word refrigerator, you don't need to stop the conversation and cry. You just say, "The big cold box in the kitchen."
The big cold box. That is perfect communication. Anyone will understand that. It might sound funny, but it works. And confident speakers do exactly that. They prioritize connection over perfection.
Prioritizing connection over perfection. That is a beautiful way to summarize this entire idea. When you put on a brave face and just try to connect with the person in front of you, the grammar mistakes do not matter as much.
People remember how you made them feel, not whether you used the present perfect continuous tense correctly. If you act warm, engaged, and confident, they will enjoy talking to you.
So, Jack, if we want to give our listeners a very practical challenge today, a small way to start faking it till they make it, what should they do?
I think they should find one low-risk situation to try this out. A low-risk situation is something small, where a mistake doesn't really matter.
Not a job interview, not a presentation to 100 people.
No. Start small, like ordering coffee, or asking a quick question in an online game, or leaving a voice message for an English-speaking friend. Before you do it, take a breath, sit up straight, and decide. For the next 30 seconds, I'm going to act like the most confident English speaker in the world.
Do the 30-second performance, and then see how it feels. See how your brain responds when you tell it, we are fine, we are in control.
And if you make a mistake, you just smile and brush it off. You stay in character.
I love that. You are all capable of doing this. You have so much more English in your brain than you realise. Sometimes you just need a little bit of fake bravery to unlock it.
And speaking of that fake bravery, there is one thing that will try to stop you right in the middle of your 30-second performance.
Let me guess. It is the inner critic, the negative voice in your head.
Exactly. The moment you try to put on a brave face, your inner critic will scream, "What are you doing? You are a fraud. Everyone knows you are making grammar mistakes."
That inner voice can be so loud. When you are acting confident, your brain sometimes tries to pull you back to the comfort zone. It says, "This is dangerous. Go back to being quiet."
But you have to remember that your inner critic is a terrible judge of reality. Your inner critic thinks a small grammar mistake is a life or death emergency.
Right. Your brain reacts to saying he don't instead of he doesn't, like a tiger is attacking you. It is not an emergency. It is just language.
And frankly, most people you talk to are not judging your English. They're just trying to understand your message. Or, to be totally honest, they're probably just thinking about what they're going to have for lunch.
That is so true. We always think everyone is paying close attention to our mistakes, but people are mostly just focused on the conversation, the connection, or their own lives.
So when that inner voice tells you that you are failing, you have to talk back to it. You have to say, "I am not failing. I am just practicing. I am growing into a new version of myself."
I love the idea of growing into a new version of yourself, because that is the real secret of fake it till you make it. You are not faking a lie. You are practicing the truth of who you are becoming.
You are just in the messy middle part. The bridge between the old you, who was terrified, and the future you, who is totally comfortable.
And walking across that bridge feels a little shaky, but you have to take the steps.
So tomorrow, or even today, find your small, low-risk situation. Maybe it is ordering food. Maybe it is talking to a colleague for 1 minute before a meeting starts.
Take a breath, open your shoulders, slow down your speaking speed, and act like the confident English speaker you want to be.
You might surprise yourself. You might find out that the confident speaker was inside you the whole time, just waiting for permission to come out.
All right, before we wrap up, let's slow things down and take a look at our word tour.
These are the useful words and phrases from today's conversation. Listen, repeat, and try to use one of them in your own sentence.
Our first phrase is fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it means to act confident and capable, even if you do not feel that way yet, until it becomes a reality.
For example, I was so nervous speaking English, but I decided to fake it till I make it.
Another example. She did not know how to do the presentation, but she faked it till she made it.
Use this phrase when you are trying to overcome fear by acting brave and pretending you are already successful.
Repeat after us. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Our second phrase is put on a brave face.
To put on a brave face means to act confident or calm, even when you feel nervous, sad, or scared inside.
For example, I was terrified before the job interview, but I put on a brave face.
Another example. Even though she forgot her vocabulary, she put on a brave face and kept talking.
Use this phrase when someone is hiding their negative emotions to deal with a difficult situation.
Repeat after us. Put on a brave face.
Put on a brave face.
Phrase number 3 is butterflies in your stomach.
Butterflies in your stomach means you feel a nervous, fluttery feeling in your stomach, usually before doing something important or scary.
For example, I always get butterflies in my stomach before I speak in public.
Another example, he had butterflies in his stomach when he called the English customer service line.
Use this phrase when you want to describe the physical feeling of nervous excitement.
Repeat after us. Butterflies in your stomach.
Butterflies in your stomach.
Number 4 is brush it off.
To brush something off means to ignore a mistake, a critical comment, or a minor problem, and not let it affect your confidence.
For example, I made a silly grammar mistake, but I just brushed it off and continued.
Another example. When someone laughed at his pronunciation, he brushed it off.
Use this phrase when you want to talk about moving past a small failure without stressing about it.
Repeat after us. Brush it off.
Brush it off.
Our 5th phrase is comfort zone.
The comfort zone is a situation or psychological state where you feel safe, relaxed, and without stress, but where you also do not grow or learn anything new.
For example, if you want to improve your speaking, you have to step out of your comfort zone.
Another example. Reading English at home is great, but speaking to a stranger is way outside my comfort zone.
Use this phrase to talk about the safe space you need to leave in order to make real progress.
Repeat after us. Comfort zone.
Comfort zone.
Number 6 is go with the flow.
To go with the flow means to relax and accept a situation as it happens naturally, without trying to control everything or strictly follow a plan.
For example, I forgot my script, so I just decided to go with the flow.
Another example. Real conversations are unpredictable, so you have to learn to go with the flow.
Use this phrase when advising someone to be flexible and not panic when things change.
Repeat after us. Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Phrase number 7 is brain freeze.
A brain freeze usually means a headache from eating something cold, but in a conversation, it means your mind goes completely blank and you cannot remember anything.
For example, the teacher asked me a question and I had a total brain freeze.
Another example. I know the word for apple, but I had a brain freeze during the exam.
Use this phrase playfully when you suddenly forget a very simple word or idea because of stress.
Repeat after us. Brain freeze.
Brain freeze.
Number 8 is buy time.
To buy time means to do or say something that delays an event, giving you a few extra seconds or minutes to think and prepare.
For example, I asked the customer to repeat the question just to buy some time to think.
Another example, using filler phrases like, well, let me see, is a great way to buy time.
Use this phrase when you talk about strategies to give your brain a moment to find the right English vocabulary.
Repeat after us. Buy time.
Buy time.
And our last phrase for today is tiny win.
A tiny win is a very small but meaningful success or achievement that helps build your confidence over time.
For example, ordering a coffee in English without using a translator app is a great tiny win.
Another example. Celebrate your tiny wins because they keep you motivated.
Use this phrase to describe small steps forward in your English learning journey.
Repeat after us. Tiny win.
Tiny win. So today we talked about why confidence does not always have to come first. Sometimes You just have to act a little bit brave before you actually feel brave.
Exactly. And remembering that faking it till you make it is not about lying to people. It is about giving yourself a chance to practice the confidence you want to have in the future.
You can slow down, fix your body language, use filler words to buy time, and most importantly, step out of that cozy comfort zone.
Your practical takeaway for today is simple. Find one low-risk situation. Maybe it is leaving a short voice message or answering a question in an online game. Just for 30 seconds, put on a brave face and act like the most confident English speaker in the world.
And we would love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, what is one situation where you want to feel more confident in English?
You can also choose one phrase from today's word tour, like brush it off or go with the flow, and use it in your own sentence below. We love reading your examples.
If this episode gave you a tiny win today, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who is also learning English.
Keep practicing naturally, and do not be afraid to make a few mistakes along the way.
You've been listening to Speak English Naturally.
Real English, real conversations, positive energy.
We will see you in the next episode.